Well, thanks, Kendall Coyne Schofield, for doing this. Appreciate it. Um, I really enjoyed watching you in the Olympics. I've covered you in a lot of different ways. You played so many world championships and otherwise, and I've been able to cover some of that. But I know the Olympics didn't sort of turn out exactly the way you wanted. But after now having time to process it, can you at least be happy about winning a silver, even though you wanted to win gold?
I think our team has a lot to be proud of just over these last few years. Of course, we didn't get the result we worked for over these last 6 months in Beijing. And I think it's a moment and an opportunity for us to learn to, move forward. But I think when you think of the last 4 years, when you think of, what it takes to consistently play at this level in women's hockey, it's hard. It's not easy, and
No.
we have so much to be proud of. And then if you put, you add the additional layer of COVID on top of everything and the cancellations, postponements, injuries, sickness, adjusting, adapting, and everything in between. It's been a lot. It was a lot to get to Beijing, and of course, we wanted to go medal when we got to Beijing. We didn't get that, but I still think there's so much for us to be proud of, and so much for us to take away. And I think one thing too is just the amount of support that we've received since coming home while we were in Beijing, and the amount of people that were inspired by our journey. Of course, we couldn't have anyone there right alongside us, and it was just the 41 of us, our players, our staff, as our family there in Beijing. But I think ultimately, regardless of the medal color, we've inspired a lot of people along the way, and we have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I was pulling for you. I lost a humiliation bet on Instagram with a Canadian media person. I had to wear like a silly outfit in Canadian colors, but that's okay. You guys still made me proud, and it was still a great effort. You talked about injuries. I mean, Breanna Decker, like we all saw it, and probably for the first time we actually heard it too. Like, and it just, I've had, one or two bad injuries like that. I can't imagine just the guts she had just for hanging around after the kind of pain that you're in. But just that moment was just agonizing for us all to watch.
It was one of the worst moments I've ever been a part of in my career. And if you know Breanna Decker, you know she's the toughest player in that tournament on the ice. I don't care men's or women's tournament. She's the toughest player in that tournament. And so to hear her make the noise she did, we knew right away it was something serious and severe. And to see your leader, your teammate, your friend, and arguably one of the greatest players in the world go down 10 minutes into the tournament is tough. But it was, this team has been through so much. And you have to add that one to the list, if not at the top of the list. But her decision to stay in China for another 2 weeks with a broken leg, and just shows the
Crazy.
leader, just shows the leader she is. The amount of pain she was in, the amount of discomfort, the fact that she put off getting her leg repaired for 2 weeks for the greater good of the team, just shows how important she is to this team, to this country, and the type of leader she is. She could have got back on that plane, went home and got her leg fixed right away, but she waited 2 weeks, hung by our side the entire way, and was a leader through it all.
Yeah. And before I ask you about the NFT set that's coming out, I did want to ask you about the PWHPA. I saw it on NHL Network the other night with the Dream Gap Tour, and that was good to see. I know there was an announcement of the league forming, but like you said, with COVID and things like that, has that been inevitably pushed back a bit?
Most recently, we were excited to announce the post Olympic tour game in Pittsburgh alongside the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be March 12th, which is extremely exciting. I think if you look at dating back to '98, a post Olympic tour has always been in the eyes and the minds of the players, but it's never been able to come to fruition. And so to finally be here to see it come to fruition, of course, it's tougher if you're on the losing end. Of course,
Yeah.
you don't need to say that, but this is so much bigger than who won and who lost. This is the best. These are the best players in North America coming together to be able to showcase the game after the Olympics. So, our goal was to make sure the women's hockey doesn't remain silent after the Olympic Games, because so often that is the case. People are like, "Oh, when do I get to see you next?"
Right.
And I never know how to answer that. Now I can answer it. March 12th in Pittsburgh, you get to see the best U.S. Canadian Olympians on the same sheet once again. A month after the Olympics, and then I don't want to look too far ahead into that. This coming week, we have a Dream Gap Tour stop in Washington, D.C., along with the Washington Capitals. So,
Okay.
a lot of momentum, a lot of amazing things happen. My sister, she's on Team Adidas with the Minnesota region. So she was in Ottawa last week. She'll be in D.C. This week. So, there's been a lot of momentum, a lot of great things for women's hockey. And, I think the people who have supported us through and through, especially these last few years, have been tough. But, they see the upside, they see the return, they see the importance of the investment in the women's game, and we're seeing, we're seeing the impact.
Yeah, you have a video out there, a training video that I've shown to a lot of people, because you literally jump from the floor onto like either a box or like a piece of, a suitcase, whatever. Like, did you practice that and miss a lot, or did you just know that you could do it?
Are you talking about the box jump?
The box jump, yeah. Which is crazy.
I do those a lot, just, in general. I will say the height of that box jump was definitely higher, and it may have started with my husband saying, "I bet you can't do that." And so that's usually how we get each other going, and we work out with each other. So we always challenge each other in those funny ways. And I said, "Okay, I bet you I can." So I gave it a shot, and I did it.
That's incredible. I still show it to people. My wife was amazed. It's unbelievable to have that kind of lift. But that's, we know you're fast and it's the same muscles, but still, you don't expect to see that. So talking about the NFT, and you're going to, I guess, have a pair of autographed skates involved with that. So give me an idea. I know there's other Olympians in that, and it's, I'm trying to get the name here. Sorry. Here Elites. Yeah. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So first of all, I had to learn a lot about NFTs. I will admit I wasn't very familiar with the NFT space, and it took some understanding and learning about what an NFT is and how an NFT works. But then when this idea came, and it would be more of a hero collection, I thought that was so cool, because I remember looking at a lot of Olympians when I was a kid, and they were my heroes. And so then to be able to build an NFT as an Olympian, and you're somewhat of looking like a hero, I thought that was really, really cool. And, I think there's a lot of parallels, because whether you're an Olympian or not, I think if you've reached the pinnacle of whatever you're trying to accomplish, you have the ability to inspire someone else to follow in your footsteps and do more and be better. And so, this is just another platform to reach people. And it's, obviously it's a unique platform in the NFT form. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, NFTs didn't exist when we were kids, or you were a kid, and now it's something that has caught on. And like you said, you're just catching up with it. It's still a foreign thing to a lot of people to try and explain to them. I've tried to explain it to them, and some people get it and some don't. And so if you were able to get an NFT of somebody in the past, if you were a kid, who would you be trying to get an NFT of?
Oh, well, this isn't really the past, but I would say it's kind of the current, but I would say Allison Felix.
Okay.
She inspires me in so many ways. I think, back in the day, Michael Jordan would be pretty cool NFT. I think Billie Jean King. I could have a long list, I guess.
Now the question would be, would you have all the money to buy all those NFTs? Because that's, they're not cheap.
Yeah, probably not. But that's why we're fighting for what we're fighting in women's hockey.
No, Billie Jean King would be great, actually. But I see there's, Hillary Knight, your teammate, is involved, and John Schuster, who I've interviewed before, great guy. I wish I could say I'm more into curling. I mean, I watched it. I struggle with curling. I do.
Oh, I'm super into it. I'm on the opposite end. I am super into it. We were so excited after we were done competing. Schuster had one game left, so we were all front and center cheering loudly, which was super fun. But he's been a huge fan of our team. We're a huge fan of his team and U.S. curling. So it's easy for us to be super fans, because we get to see it live, and we've seen it at the Olympic Games. And I was actually able to be, when we did the Sticks and Stones with NBC in Carolina, I was on Schuster's team. So I got to be able to learn curling by one of the greatest of all time, Olympic gold multiple medalist, as we know. So I think once you get on the ice, once you learn it and see it in person, you have such an appreciation and you become a huge fan of it. So I'm a big fan of our curlers.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Like, I turned it on. It was by accident. I saw we're playing Canada. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch. And when it ended, I didn't really know why it ended. Like, I just didn't. It took me by surprise. Like, I was like, all right, I guess we lost.
Yeah. I think that's what's, you got to learn the rules. Like we're still learning, asking questions. That's what I love about the Olympic Games, though, is you get to go to these events and you're sitting next to someone who is either not competing or but is a part of the sport. And so you just sit there and ask 1,000 questions. What does this mean?
Right.
What is this? What is this? And I love sitting next to some of our figure skating teams during figure skating events because I'm like, was that good? Was that bad? That looked great. And so yeah, we're lucky we've been able to learn from them throughout these last few Olympics.
Yeah, and I may have said it wrong before, so I guess it's a sweepstakes that they people can get in for your autograph skates and things like that. It's not attached to the NFT, so that's a cool thing. What how do you decide which skates you're going to give up? Because I mean, I know players and skates. That's not an easy decision.
I mean, the good thing is I have a lot of them. I have a lot. So
do you have more shoes or more skates?
Skates.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I would say skates. Yes, definitely.
That's interesting. So, all right. So was this like your favorite pair or close to your favorite pair? Was it something did you use it during one of the seasons? Do you remember?
Oh, I haven't picked them out exactly. I have a lot to pick out, I guess, from, but it would, I don't really, I will say the only pair of skates, like I really like know which ones they are the ones that I sent to the Hall of Fame from the All-Star weekend in 2019. So like those ones I'm 100% sure which ones those are, but I tend to lose track of, you wear these skates this year, these skates like I lose track. We go through so many of them. They all look the same. I don't know which is which.
I could see that. Now, one of your teammates, Hillary Knight, took a lot of food pictures from Beijing. And what was the Beijing food like? Did you ask a lot of questions about the food before you ate it?
That's one thing I didn't take any pictures of because I didn't enjoy it very much. So kudos to her for wanting to remember the food in Beijing because it was not my favorite. You didn't really ask many questions because it was the only option that you really had was to eat what was kind of right in front of you. So, it definitely wasn't my favorite. I definitely struggled and had a lot of oatmeal, a lot of bars, a lot of fruit, some of the foods that are more familiar than others.
Were you able to bring any food with you or you had to rely on everything that was in Olympic Village?
So the USOPC did an incredible job bringing a lot of snacks like oatmeals and bars and some more of like American, familiar snacks.
Okay, so what was your number one snack? Was it like a Hershey bar? Like what was your one thing you were like, oh, at least I have this?
I would say it was the oatmeal and the Kodiak cake, like oatmeal where you can just put water in and put in the microwave and eat it. I would say I relied heavily on that and bananas. I mean, I got those in the dining hall, but I just needed some fruit, like just wanted some fruit and veggies, and the banana was the safest one for me.
So when you would eat that, would it actually feel like home? Did it comfort you? Like, was it like that?
I mean, maybe day 1 through 7, but day 8, I'm like, I don't want to look at another piece of oatmeal in the next 6 months.
No, I totally understand that. So what would be the message for wanting to get people to get involved, to buy the NFT and get involved in the sweepstakes? And what would you say to people to get them involved?
I think it's unique. It's kind of, I think the biggest thing is that it's very unique. I've never done or had anything like this before. I've never offered anything like this before. So it kind of is once in a lifetime. And I think just the hero collection itself is so special, so unique. Anthony, the artist, put a lot of thought and detail into the design of the NFT, and obviously had my input and my thoughts. And so it was definitely a very collaborative effort in building these NFTs together.
So when you got to see it, was that like a cool moment for you?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, I look like a superhero. It was really cool because you grow up and you see like, the Marvel movies and
Yeah.
you never imagine your face in one of those. And that's kind of what this NFT looks like.
Well, that's great. Hey, listen, Kendall, I really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, Russ. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. So I'll leave. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Good luck to you. And yeah, I've enjoyed watching you play, like I said, and I'll be watching the tour. I thought about going to the game in Pittsburgh, but I think I'm actually going to be at the Heritage Classic. So I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
right around the same time.
Okay. Yeah, it's the next day. It's the
Yeah, it's the
13th.
next day. So I'm not going to make that, but good. That'll be
Yeah,
a fun game though.
I think the Canadians will be there.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'll definitely record it. So I'm looking forward to it. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Am I
Okay.
am I okay to go as well?
I guess so. I guess
Okay.
yeah, because I'm sure he's done his part. So yeah, take care.
Okay, sounds good. See ya.